Hi everyone and happy holidays. Welcome back to the Stitch Sessions and welcome to working on another cute and quick holiday project. So this is a little swirl, I guess we call it, a crochet swirl. It can be used as an ornament on your tree. There's a lot of other things that you can do with this. I have used this as hat toppers, like instead of a pom-pom, I've actually used this on top of a hat. I've created a few of them. If you're doing things like pumpkin hats, this is a great way to add to the top of it. Or any other type of theme, I find that this creates a nice little add-on. A lot of people use this to actually create a wreath. So they make a longer one and then they turn it into a circle, and look at that. You've got an instant wreath ornament. What I like to use it for as well is gift toppers. This is a great way to have reusable items for your holiday gifts. I also like to combine these with those Victorian style vintage wreath ornaments that I've done in the past, and they make such a beautiful combination. It creates an elegant look on the gift and it's reusable, which is my favorite part about creating these types of items. So I will a lot of times create these in different colors. So I know I kind of color code the gift tags for people I'm giving it to. So this is like a topper or I use this as a tag really. So I know who gets the specific color. They don't know, but I know. So this goes under the tree and all the gifts have different colors in them. And then it can be reusable for next year, or the gift recipient can use this as an ornament or reuse it themselves for something the following year. So I really, really like this. It has so many uses and it's so quick to make up. And if you are a newer crocheter and you think, oh boy, this looks complicated, it is so easy to do. If all you know is a single crochet even, you can do this little guy here. Now I'm going to be using the double crochet stitch, but you can certainly do this with a single crochet stitch. And by the way, if you are new here, my name is Karen and I love to share my joy and love of crochet with you guys. And I'm so excited that you decided to join me today. And for those of you that are returning, welcome back. I always love hanging out with you guys. Now, let's get to stitching up our very own swirl. We're going to talk about gathering some materials together and then we're going to whip these up in no time. Okay, for this project, you're going to need your selected yarn. Now, I am using a lighter weight yarn here. I'm using the Peyton's Grace yarn. And this is a lightweight number 3. Now you can definitely use a medium 4-weight yarn, which I've seen a lot of people do. So obviously your swirl is going to be a little bit fluffier and slightly larger. And that can look super adorable depending on what you are going to make your swirl for. So I'm going to be using a lightweight number 3 today because I am going to be focusing more on using it along the lines of an ornament or an applique for a variety of different things. So lightweight number 3, I am using 2 contrasting colors. You could actually just make this all one color, by the way, but I just thought that the contrasting color really added a little definition here to our swirl. Now, these ones I did in white and red, and I know that red doesn't always show up that great on camera, so I'm actually going to bring in this pink color. So I'm going to do white and pink for this one. This is also a lightweight number 3 yarn. It is not the Peyton's Grace. It is actually, I think, the Tencel yarn. I think it's Loops and Threads. I'm not sure. I will put a graphic up here on the screen in case you're interested. It's a little bit more of a silky look. And I also really like working with this yarn. So that is what I'm going to use here. You don't need much. So like, for example, the Peyton's Grace yarn comes in 50 gram skeins, which gives you about 125 meters or 136 yards. That is way more than enough. So unless you want to make a whole slew of them, which you can, this is not going to take up much yarn at all. Okay. And then the hook size I'm going to be using for this project is going to be a 3.75 millimeter hook, which is also known as an F or a size 5 if you go by those hook labels. Okay. As always, make sure that you have a pair of scissors on hand and a yarn needle to weave in your ends at the end. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to begin with my white yarn first, and you can make yours as long or as short as you like. So I created this long one here by chaining up 40 chains, okay? And then I did this one by chaining 20. So this one is about half the size of that one. Now I'm going to create one that's longer than this one because I also want to show you some examples of different things that you can create with it. So I want it to be a little bit longer. So for this one, I am going to chain up 60 chains. So this one's going to be a little bit longer. Now I always like to leave a slightly longer tail for projects like this, just because it'll give us something to fasten the swirl to. And if you don't need that much, then you can always snip it off later. So I'm going to leave a really long tail, and then I'm going to place a slip knot on my hook. Okay, ooh, that's really long, but that's okay. I can snip it off after. Okay, and then I'm going to proceed to chain up 60 chains. And that is 60. So I just tried to keep it nice and even. If you're a tight crocheter, I would probably recommend you going up a hook size for when you do this chain, okay? Because we're going to work a lot of stitches in to this chain. So it's nice and even. And now we're going to begin creating our swirl right away. So once you have your chain, what we're going to do is we are going to find the fourth chain from the hook. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 is right there. And into that fourth chain, we're going to place 2 double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over and insert there. And just going to place a double crochet. And then I'm going to yarn over and go back into that same stitch there and double crochet. Okay, and so that chain 3 will count as a double crochet. So technically we have 3 double crochets in that stitch. Okay, so now we're going to keep it so simple, you're going to be amazed. You're just going to go into the following chain, and you're going to place 3 double crochet stitches into that same stitch. So you go into that next chain, double crochet, and then you go right back into that same stitch and put 2 more double crochets. And so if you've been practicing double crochets, if you're a newer crocheter, you're going to get a lot more practice with this little item here. So I've got 3 there, and then I just go to the next chain and I do the exact same thing. And that is going to be the repeat all the way down until you get to the end of your chain. So you're going to place 3 double crochets into every single chain stitch. Okay. And so what you'll notice, because we are overloading each chain with excessive stitches, it will create the need for your work to curl. Okay, and it's already curling up a little bit, as you can see there. So just go with it. And that is it. That is the magic behind this little swirl. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine. I'm going to place 3 double crochets into each and every single chain. And then I'll meet up with you to talk about embellishing it with our accent color. Okay, I haven't finished my chain row yet, but I just wanted to pop on here to show you that it starts to curl on its own. See that? That's how this swirl is created. We're just overloading the chains with extra stitches. So I just wanted to show you guys, the swirl really creates itself. All you have to do is just keep placing those stitches in the chains there. And it's as easy as that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this now. I just got excited. I wanted to show you guys. Just doing my last set of 3 double crochet stitches into my final chain. Actually, you could say that we just did shell stitches in all the stitches. I never really thought of that, but shell stitch is 3 double crochets. Now, there we have it. Now you can see this looks like it unraveled a little bit, but don't worry about it. A lot of times when it's long, it'll do that. So all you were going to do is we're just going to help it along. We're going to just follow the curve, and we're going to help it curve nicely, just like that. There we go. So it's going to curl, and you're going to do that all the way until the top of your swirl here. Okay, and then I just check on it. Yep, it's all swirling in the right direction. And, you know, there really is no wrong side or right side for this particular project. Like, it will curl on its own, like where it wants to go. So we don't really worry too much about what is the wrong side and what is the right side. There we go. Okay. There we go. So there is your swirl completed to the length of your chain. So you can see it's pretty long. I'm now going to snip my yarn here. Oops, so I got that long tail, and I'm going to snip this here. Okay. And so I'm just going to pull that through. So now I've got two tails here, which is want to happen. So what I like to do is I like to weave this one so it kind of comes up here to the end. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I'm just going to weave it back and forth so that it comes up close to here. Nice. Then I'll just do a teeny little knot here. I'll just do one because we are going to have most likely a third tail coming up here with our accent color. There we go. Okay, so this is the one with 60 chains. So if I bring back the one with 40, you can see that it's a lot shorter. And because we had an extra layer with the red, it looks thicker. So don't worry if you find that this is a little thin. Now, the other thing you can do, I'm going to embellish mine with adding an accent color, but if you like the way I worked that Victorian style wreath ornament, and by the way, I'll leave a link for that in the description box down below. This was, I can't remember now if it was last Christmas or 2 Christmases ago. I actually sewed in some sew-on beads and crystals, and I just thought it looked divine. You can absolutely sew in some beads and sequins. I actually, which I might do, I have a lot of rhinestones. Actually, hold on one second. I have a lot of these rhinestones from other projects, and I might just glue some of these on at the end. Wouldn't that look really spectacular, especially for Christmas decor? So you see, there's all kinds of ways that you can embellish your swirls. So just a couple of suggestions there. And so now we're going to bring our new colors. So we're going to adorn it with an accent color in this case. And we are going to use the pink. And it doesn't really matter where you start. You can start at the top of your swirl or at the bottom. I think I will start at the top just to keep it kind of consistent. So what you want to do is we are going to now work slip stitches into every single stitch all the way around, but we are going to work into the back loops of all of our stitches. So just like this one here, I started from the top and I worked the back loop. So this ridge here, that's the front loop of the stitch. And you can see that's where the back loop is. So we worked slip stitches all the way around. That allows it to kind of spread out a little bit like it did. And I love how it creates a little bit of an accent, and it really allows your swirl to kind of stand out and pop a little bit against any background there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. So first, I'm going to take the top of my swirl, and what I want to do is that very first stitch there, I'm going to insert my hook, and then I'm going to pick up my accent color, and I'm just going to place it on the hook and pull it through. Notice I did not use a slip knot. You can, but I like to keep the bulk down in projects like this. So I'm going to extend this little tail here so I have something at the end. And then I'm going to chain one just to secure it. And now I'm going to go into every single stitch, and I'm going to see how that's the top of the stitch, that V. Normally when working stitches, we work into the whole stitch that has those 2 loops. But in this case, I'm going to work into the back loop only, and that's going to give it a nice little bridge effect. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through all the way, and that's the slip stitch in the first one. Then I just go to the second one, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. So really straightforward. Again, using very basic stitches, we're creating this really cool little ornament here. So I'm just going to do another one around and pull through. And look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Wow. That is so cute. And you can see even this back ridge that shows, I think it creates a nice little detail effect. Okay. And that's it. Like super easy, guys. So I'm going to go all the way around, all the way around. So I had 60 chains and I did 3 in each. So I probably have just under 90 stitches here. Because remember, we started stitching into the 4th chain from the hook. And the other cool thing about this project is it actually doesn't matter. The number of stitches doesn't matter. It's just you want to make sure that it curls and we have this pretty look. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my little embellishment here. And then our swirl is pretty much done. I told you guys it was quick. Quick and cute. That's how we like it. Okay, and I'm just coming up to the last, second last stitch here. And into that back loop. It's a little tight there. Just like that. And actually, I like to kind of keep going just down that little point there to give it a nice little finished edge. Just like that. Perfect. And so I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail there. Okay. Snip my yarn. And then I'm just going to chain 1 and fasten off. Okay. So you can already see, look at how much it's loosened up since our original loop, our original spiral. Okay, so now I'm just going to help it get back into its shape. So you can really see it's much more relaxed because that extra row of stitching has given it some weight. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? I love how subtle that accent is. This would also make for a really pretty project if you're making like a mobile for a baby's crib or something like that, which is perfect because this is not going to, they're not going to be able to hurt themselves with the item. And it's soft and it's got movement and I love it. Okay, so there it is. So now you can see it's much more comparable in size. So it's stretched a little bit, which I like because now you can really see the definition of the swirl. So what I want to do here at the very end is I just want to kind of try to weave in this tail. Now it's a little tricky to do because we use slip stitches and we have a contrasting color. So I just try and kind of go in through the side here and just continue the color up a little bit into these little spots here. So now I'm going into the stitch and I'm just going to go up a few stitches just to give it a little bit of continuity. So those are the chains where we double crocheted into. So I'm going to go up a few of these, whoops. And actually that looks really, really cute. I would actually, if I had known, because I'm always learning new things, I actually would have left a super long tail and I would have done that all the way back up. Look at how pretty that looks. It gives it a really nice continued finish. So I don't have a lot of yarn left over, so I'm just going to knot this here now. There we go. And I'm just going to use my hook here to pull that through. There we go. That's it. And you can snip off here and you are all done. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up to the top. So you see now I have 3 tails basically. And I'm just going to knot the pink to the white to bring them all nicely together. Just like that. I might even double knot it. And now it's nice and secure. So depending on what you're going to do with it, you can either weave this in and get an ornament hook if you're going to use this as an ornament for your tree. And a lot of times you can actually just lay this inside the tree because it's just going to stick nicely to the branches. If you're going to attach this as a topper on a gift, you can leave these so you can attach it to the top, or you can use ribbon. Like you can actually snake a ribbon in the top here and use that ribbon to tie this on. But I'm going to leave my tails here because I'm going to attach it to the wreath ornament as a whole bunch. So in a way, they'll get a topper and some ornaments as part of their gift. So these are the ones I did in red, and I just have to clean up these tails here. But essentially, I'm going to bunch these together and create this sweet little bunch of swirls. Isn't that cute? I just love that. I just find that it's so vintagey. I love vintage Christmas. And it's handmade and it's elegant and it's pretty. Now what you can do too, by the way, with this tail, just to clean it up a little bit, you can actually braid it to tidy this up. So I'm actually going to do this right now with this one. And then just to show you just how you can tidy this up here. Okay, so I've finished the braid. Just evening out these tails here. And so that is the braid at the end, and it just gives it a much more finished look, I think. And there you have it. So I'm going to do that with these as well before I put it on my topper. And I just wanted to show you what the other things that you can make with this swirl. So some people will do the swirl here like this, and then they'll just simply take both ends and join them together, just like this. Like I said before, you can create a wreath. So you would just either sew that, or you'd bring that tail through and you have a wreath. Isn't that cute? Now, I've also seen people use a pipe cleaner. So what they'll do is they'll snake that pipe cleaner down the center, which will most likely give you much more structure, especially if you have a larger swirl with a lighter weight yarn. If you're using like a medium 4-weight yarn, that will probably have much more structure than this. So they use a pipe cleaner and then it'll give it nice shape. And there you have, isn't that sweet? Look at how adorable that is. It's handmade and it is gorgeous. So you can create a little wreath ornament. I've also seen candy canes made with this. So as you can see, I'm shaping it right there. There's the candy cane. Now that definitely would need a pipe cleaner running through here, but simple fix. Just go to the craft store, and actually it would be this way, I guess, because if you have your hanger. And so they run a pipe cleaner through it and then they just shape it to be a candy cane. Is that not adorable? Just so sweet. There are so many things you can do with this item. That's why I really love it. So like I said, I'm going to use mine for a gift topper, and there are my 3 there. And I hope you guys realized just how darn easy this whole project was. It's super quick. You can whip up a whole bunch of these. I love the idea of using them as gift toppers for Christmas. They're so sustainable, they're reusable, they're not gonna end up in the garbage, along with the wrapping paper at the end of the day. And you can not only reuse them for next year, but you can use them to embellish so many other things as part of your decor, on clothing items, all kinds of things. So I hope you had a good time, guys. If you have any detailed questions, as always, you know you can leave me a comment in the comment box down below. And you can always email me directly at info@crochetcrafty.com. And don't forget, come and say hi to me at crochetcrafty.com. Lots of fantastic goodies for you there on the website, lots of free goodies. And make sure to sign up for my newsletter. I know I haven't done any in the last couple of months because it's just been insane, but there will be a December newsletter coming out very, very soon. So this project is coming out just before our last pillow project installment. So December's pillow will be coming out after this tutorial, and I'm going to be releasing a winter newsletter. So I think starting in 2024, I'm going to be doing the newsletters quarterly, but I'm going to jam them with a lot more items in them. It's just getting a bit tricky for me to do on a monthly basis because I'm getting so darn busy. So there will be a fantastic December newsletter chocked full of all kinds of cool things, including holiday projects and some nice close-up photos of some of the tutorials that we've been working on. So all of that to say, make sure to sign up for the newsletter. It's absolutely free. And don't forget, come say hi to me. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at the Stitch Sessions, and please do tag me when you crochet your projects using my designs. I always love to see your interpretation of these projects. All right, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this cute and quick little tutorial. Happy crocheting as always, and I know it's busy over the holiday season. It can get a little stressful, but just remember to take good care of yourselves, okay? And I'll see you guys in next week's session. Happy holidays!